1 month ago, I reviewed the GameSir G7 Pro, one of the most anticipated controller releases of all time. And now, the G7 Pro Wuchang edition is finally here. So is it the best Xbox controller ever? In this review, I'll be going over its price and unboxing, features and specs, design and hand feel, settings and software, and tech and in-game tests. I'm also giving one away. All you need to do to enter the giveaway is like this video, subscribe, and comment something including the word Wuchang in all caps. Once this video hits 500 likes, I'll randomly draw a winner and ship it out. Quick disclaimer, this controller was sent to me for free by GameSir, but I had no restrictions for this review. Everything I say here is my honest opinion. Alright, let's get into it. The G7 Pro Wuchang edition is currently available on GameSir's website for $99.99. It comes in the same high-quality sleeved box as the standard G7 Pro wireless. Inside, you'll find the controller, a 2.4 GHz dongle, the charging station, 2 extra D-pad variations, and underneath there's a high-quality USB A to C cable, this awesome limited edition Wuchang keychain, some paperwork, and a 1-month subscription to Game Pass Ultimate. I've unboxed a lot of controllers, and I think GameSir has some of the best presentation out there. The G7 Pro Wuchang features Magres TMR sticks, Hall effect triggers with micro switch trigger stops, gyro motion controls, 4 extra buttons including 2 on the back and 2 up top, a 1000 Hz polling rate, a 1200 mAh battery, micro switch buttons and D-pad, a 3-part swappable magnetic faceplate, 4 rumble motors, a smart auto stop charging station, and wireless Xbox, PC, and Android connectivity. The G7 Pro Wuchang looks absolutely incredible in person. The blue and gold colors and layout are super classy, and it might actually be my favorite design between these 3 Wuchang controllers. The front grips also have a slightly raised feather texture, which is such a nice detail. It's not as grippy as the standard G7 Pro, but they don't feel slippery at all. The face buttons also use a new handwritten Wuchang themed font. The extra top bumpers and triggers are different as well and are no longer clear. And inside you can see the clear plastic is now tinted blue, and the thumbstick caps are also clear, which I really like. But other than the obvious color changes, the G7 Pro is mostly the same as the cheaper wired Xbox version. And unfortunately, that includes the D-pad. I didn't expect GameSir to change the D-pad with this release, but I still think it's the worst part of this controller. It feels flimsy and loose and wiggles around when you touch it. It's such a shame because it really stands out compared to everything else this controller does right. The G7 Pro is also a bit small for my hands, but I think most people will find it comfortable. I'm definitely a big fan of the micro switch buttons and triggers though, and the stick tension feels solid. I still don't love the back buttons, but after a few months with the original G7 Pro, I've started to really like the extra top bumpers. This trend is definitely growing on me, and I can see why so many people prefer them over 4 back paddles. But other than the disappointingly bad D-pad and my other small complaints, the G7 Pro Wuchang is one of the best looking and feeling controllers I've ever used. GameSir's Nexus software is available on Xbox, Windows, and Android devices. Inside the app, you can customize your vibration, triggers, sticks, gyro controls if you're on PC, power settings, button remapping, and polling rate, also if you're on PC. You can also update the controller, test your buttons, and reset everything if you want. Once you've made changes you like, you can then save them to one of your 4 profiles. I'm definitely a fan of how straightforward the Nexus app is, especially on Xbox. It doesn't have any of the jankiness that some other controller software can have. I also really like the subtle Wuchang button designs on the bottom as well. It's that sort of attention to detail that I think puts GameSir a step above the competition. For my first test, I used Gamepad Law's Stick Analyzer to check the controller's linearity. I suck at doing this test, but you can still see how incredible these sticks are. My best results showed 3,989 data points and a 3,197 point resolution. These results are amongst the best of any controller I've tested. Next, I used Gamepad Law's polling rate analyzer and got 950 Hz wirelessly and 911 Hz while wired, which is weird. Probably has to do with my old Windows 10 hardware though. Unfortunately, the polling rate is limited to 250 Hz for you Xbox users. Gamepad testers showed both sticks have a perfect 0% error while using the circular joystick algorithm and an 8% error with perfect shading in RAW mode. Again, these are some of the best results of any controller I've tested. Using my digital force gauge, I found that it takes about 55 grams of force to engage the sticks, which is comparable to a standard Xbox Series controller. Since this is a Wuchang themed controller, I figured why not start my game test with some Wuchang. It's been a while since I've played this game, so I kinda suck, but still, the G7 Pro feels great. It feels super smooth playing wirelessly, and the extra buttons help with all the spells and healing. Next, I booted up my usual Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I love how these TMR sticks feel in-game, but they definitely take a second to get used to. They're very sensitive to small movements, so you may need to adjust your sensitivity. Once it clicks though, these are definitely the most accurate sticks you can use on Xbox. So is the GameSir G7 Pro Wuchang Edition really the best Xbox controller ever? Honestly, yeah, it might be. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as one perfect controller, but the G7 Pro gets almost everything right. From the color and design choices to the technical performance, this is definitely one of the most impressive controllers on the market right now, especially if you primarily play on Xbox. At the very least, the G7 Pro is leagues better than the Xbox Elite Series 2. This thing breaks so easily, gets stick drift, doesn't have a dock, doesn't have micro switch buttons, and costs double the price. If GameSir improves the D-pad and refines the design a little, I think the next G7 Pro will be really close to perfect. I also hope they offer some more color options with their next iteration. Overall, I recommend the G7 Pro Wuchang to just about anyone, and especially Xbox gamers looking for the best controller they can buy. If you want to grab one for yourself, I've included a link in the description to GameSir's website. And if you want to join the giveaway for a chance to get one for free, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment with the word Wuchang in all caps. I'll draw the winner as soon as this video hits 500 likes and ship it out. Big thanks to GameSir for sending me this review unit, and to all of you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.